Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to show y'all how to do a Holley EFI wiring harness, how to install it. Pretty simple guys, but I'm gonna take y'all step by step on how to do one, and I'm getting ready to install one on this 1970 C10 truck that I'm LS swapping, so y'all stay tuned. Guys, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Holley for this system right here, and here's the part number guys if anybody wants to know. It's 550905, Terminator X, LS2, LS3, Lake Truck, self-learning EFI system. Now, this Terminator X here, guys, is, let me open it up. This one here is for the one that's non-4L80 and 4L80E. So this here one fits the old type turbo 350 transmission, so that's what this truck here is still gonna have, the old type turbo 350 transmission. So this is the wiring harness for it and the part number. And this, guys, is the heart of everything. Your computer, the Terminator X. This is your computer that tells the Holley everything to do. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to lay this harness out, and then we're going to start feeding it through the firewall. And I'm going to show y'all step by step. It's pretty simple, guys, so show y'all step by step, you know, how to do it. So let's get started. All right guys, what you want to do is find your little hole, and just so happen this truck here had that cap over that right there, which is a good thing. So I'm gonna feed my harness in right through there. All right guys, you want to feed that through that hole that I just showed y'all, nice and easy. And you don't want to cut your harness. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know if I had the camera on it, but you don't want to feed your harness, guys. I mean, you don't want to cut your harness. So you want to make sure that it's don't have any sharp edges on it or anything. And then round about where you get to the fuel pump hookup and the main harness and all that, you can stop right there. You can actually stop right there, guys. And then you can untape these wires here and feed them through the firewall, because one of them is actually for the fuel pump, and one goes to your ignition on and off, power on and off, and then one is for the fuel pump, and I think one of those are for the tack. In here, all these guys are external hookups, and then you want to have your relays, and this is where your computer plugs in at. So you want all of this, guys, inside the truck. And probably what I'm gonna do on this thing is mount the Holley. Since this truck is old, I may mount the Holley. I may mount the Holley in the glove box. We'll just see. Either that or under the dash somewhere. But we're gonna hide it somewhere neat and hide it away, guys. So we'll go from there. So now that I got it through the firewall, what you want to do is you want to feed it behind the motor so everything reaches and plugs in. And then this is your head cylinder, the head ground. You want to you got two of these, one for each side the coils. So what you want to do is make sure these are grounded good, and make sure they are tight, guys, because I had one case on my race truck where the truck wasn't firing on one side and that ground had come loose. So that ground right here to the head is very important, guys. All right guys, the way I do mine, once you get your harness to the firewall and kind of get it fed in there, your wires right here, that looks like aluminum foil on them, they go down. Them's your knock sensors and your crankshaft sensor. And those go down behind the head, down towards above the starter. So I normally feed those down at the back of the block. And then you got an even and an odd on your harness. The odd is always the driver's side, and then the even's always the passenger side. So when you feed the harness through here, you got to make sure that you feeding the harness on the side that it needs to be on. So always remember, passenger side is even, driver's side is odd. So and then once you get it in, the way I like to do mine, guys, is I'll go ahead and plug it in, and I kind of like unloop my coils, and I'll feed it through this loop right here so it looks a lot neater. See how I did that back one? And then this side I do the same thing, guys. I'll unplug those two coils, and then I'll come right here and plug it into the driver's side. And then I'll come on up, and all these wires here, guys, are for the throttle position sensor, the temp sensor, the TPS, the camshaft sensor. Cause this motor right here, guys, the camshaft sensor is in the front right down there at the bottom. So that wire plug into this sensor once I get it in the block. So got that to do. And once you do all that, guys, and make sure your grounds are grounded to the back of the head, and then everything just plugs in play. It tells you where to plug in at once you do all of that. Now you won't plug any of these sensors in where you plug your camshaft sensor in, but your throttle position sensor and your TPS, that's your temp sensor, and it'll go right here in the head that I haven't put in yet, but I'll show y'all a little later on in that video. But you won't plug some of these in, guys, until you get the intake back on it. So I'll show y'all that also. Oil pressure sensor, and that's for the Holley. And this, guys, is for the gauges inside. And what I'll do is drill the oil pan down there and put an adapter in the side of it and read the gauges, which is inside here, which will read this oil pressure. And then your 3-inch dash should be your digital side, which will read that one.